Hi guys, welcome back to my channel. So it's officially been 2 years since my big chop, and I wanted to give you guys a 2-year update, a little insight into where I'm going with my hair journey now, kind of what the last 2 years have looked like. And I asked you guys on Instagram to send in any questions you might have about the whole big chop situation, so I'm going to be answering a few of those. I just wanted today's video to be like a chill little sit down chit chat, so grab a tea, grab a coffee, grab some water, whatever you're drinking, and come chill out with me while we talk about my hair growth. So for those of you who are new to my channel, welcome. But 2 years ago I cut all my hair off to about my collarbones. Before I chopped it, it was around my tailbone length. I think it was maybe even just around hip length. So it was a big cut for me. I think before the tailbone length, the longest my hair had ever been was about classic length or a little bit below that. So it was pretty long, and then going from around there to up to my collarbones was a really big jump for me. But this is the length of my hair now. Like this, my ribs are here, so it's about rib length. If you want to see the video on like why I wanted to cut my hair in the first place and like the whole process and everything, I will have the haircut video linked up in the cards for you. I'm not going to go too into detail about like why I did it. At the time that I cut my hair, my goal was to grow it back out to the length that I had before, so around hip length. And that was one of the main questions I got when I asked you guys on Instagram, is like, am I planning on growing it back out? And yes, I am. I do want to grow it back to about hip length or around belly button. I'm not too sure which yet. Last time I grew my hair out the first time, I said my goal was belly button, and then once I got to belly button, I didn't really feel like that was that long. So I kept growing, but I think for the time being, I foresee myself only growing it to around hip length. I do love really long hair, like classic length I think is so beautiful, but it's just a really hard thing to maintain. Yeah, now that I've gotten used to myself with like shorter and like medium length hair, I kind of find it hard to picture myself with super long hair again. I almost feel like it looks funny on me from the back. Like when I look at old photos, I'm like, oh, it makes me look like almost disproportionate. I don't know, that's just how I feel looking at photos of myself now. So I'm not really sure. I think if I do go longer than hip length though, I do want to have a lot of layers. That's one thing I'm planning on doing differently this time. I want to have a lot of layers in it as it grows out and have a lot of movement. I think it would make the longer hair more fun. One of the main reasons why I wanted to cut it was just that like I wasn't having fun with it anymore. I found it extremely annoying most of the time, so it was almost always in a braid or in some sort of hair stick bun, and I kind of got to the point where I was like, what's the point of having long hair if it's always up? At that point, I might as well just have short hair because it's always off me anyway. I also got asked by a lot of people if I'm planning on chopping it again. And honestly, I think I would. Like, I'm not really planning on doing it anytime soon. Once I get my hair back down to like hip length, I think I will leave it that way for a while and just enjoy the length. And then eventually when I'm sick of it, I think I would chop it. I don't know if I would go as short, or maybe I would go shorter. I'm not too sure. Like there are some like short hair inspo pictures that I see on Pinterest that are just so cute that it makes me really want to chop my hair off. Like some of these photos, I think they're so cute and I'm so tempted to go that short. But I also really love this length on me, and this is like a pretty big cut from going to like from hip length to around here. This is a pretty good haircut too. So I'm not too sure. Like I think next time I might like gradually go up, like maybe cut it to here and then maybe cut it back a little shorter and then start the growing out process again. That's one thing I've really loved about the haircut that I didn't expect, is that I just have really loved the growing out process. I thought by 2 years in I would be starting to feel really impatient, and I am feeling a little more antsy to have it long again. Like now that it's passing like boob length, I'm really getting to that like, oh my god, it's getting longer. Like I can't wait to have my long, really like beachy mermaid hair again. But I don't feel like, I don't know, angsty towards my past self for cutting my hair. And that's another question I got a lot actually, is did I regret it? And no, I have not had one single ounce of regret since chopping my hair. And I think that's for many different reasons. I think the biggest reason is that like I was fully ready to cut my hair when I cut my hair. Like I did not feel pressured into that haircut in any way. I didn't feel like influenced at all by the internet at the time. If anything, I had a lot of people telling me not to do it. So the fact that I was still like fully gung-ho, like confident in my decision, really for myself just tells me that I was fully ready to do it. I think the only time I felt weird about it was when I did first move out here to where I'm living now and I was meeting people for the first time. Like I really didn't realize how enthralled my long hair was into my identity. I really didn't realize how much of a long hair girly I was until I didn't have it and I was like meeting new people for the first time. It just felt really weird to have to like learn how to express myself in a way that wasn't just my hair, because my hair was at a length where it was getting a lot of attention from strangers. It was always a topic of conversation when I would first meet somebody. I would almost always get asked about it. So it was really interesting to kind of see like what other parts about me would like attract friends or would attract people. Like when I would meet someone new, like they would ask me about something that wasn't related to my hair, and it was a lot more fun to like experiment with other parts of my identity. I don't know if that makes sense, but I think if you have long hair or have had really long hair, you'll know what I mean. And I think that chopping my hair off also really pushed me into exploring my style more. My style has changed a lot since I moved away from Toronto. I mean, like I would never be caught dead in like a pattern like 3 years ago. So I think that cutting my hair really pushed me to find other things about my personality that were easy to express outwardly, and I'm really grateful for that. I'm really grateful for the confidence that it pushed me into. No, I didn't regret cutting my hair at all. I kind of thought I would, honestly, but it's been a really good experience. And if you've been on the fence or like really wanting to cut your hair but you're scared, I say go for it. When you're ready, go for it, because I think it's a really good growing experience. Somebody asked me what the biggest difference between your first growth journey and your current one. So the first time I grew out my hair from around the same length, I was about 13 or 14 when I was like, okay, I'm gonna really try to grow my hair long, and my hair was completely fried. That is like the main difference. My hair was shot when I first started growing out my hair the very first time. At that time I was like 13, so all of 8th grade I remember I was washing my hair every day and either straightening it or curling it after washing. Like I would blow dry it and then style it. I was using mousse and hairspray on a daily basis. I was using products that didn't have great ingredients. I didn't know anything about my hair type. I didn't know about hair masks. Like I wasn't doing treatments. I wasn't using oils or serums on my hair. I wasn't using leave-in products. I was just shampoo, conditioner, heat. I think I was maybe using a heat protectant at least, and that's only because the girlies on YouTube at the time were saying to use heat protectant, and like that's all I knew. I was also giving myself DIY like emo girl layers in the shower. I would take my razor that you use for shaving your legs and I would like hack my wet hair in the shower to give myself like shaggy layers. My hair was fried when I first started. So the main difference was that this time when I grew my hair out, I already had relatively healthy hair considering the length of my hair at the time. Like it was really healthy. I think the last little bit was probably just a little drier, which is totally normal, but compared to what my hair was the first time, it was significantly more healthy. And then I chopped it, and the ends that were up here were like baby hair. Like they were so fresh and so healthy that the growing out process has been honestly a dream. Like I haven't had to do any recovery on my hair. The first time I was doing like damage repair and maintenance trims way more frequently to try to like get my hair at least to an even length with like normally chopped up layers, because my layers were super uneven, obviously because I was in the shower with a freaking Bic razor hacking away at my hair. So this time it was a lot simpler and a lot more fun. This time around I also know about my hair porosity. I know about hair masks. I'm following a capillary schedule regularly. I know about scalp care. Like I have hair products that I can swear by that I know work well for my hair. There was like no trial and error. Quite a few people also asked like what do I think helped most with the growth process, and I think the main thing was like starting from a really healthy state. So I think if you're gonna do a big cut, you might as well cut up to the point where your hair is fresh and healthy. I feel like it's just silly to cut it to a point where you're still gonna have like 2 inches of dead ends. You might as well cut above the 2 inches, even if it's a bit shorter than you originally wanted. I think starting from really healthy ends made a huge difference in like the rate of growth, just because I didn't have to really trim it for so long after, and I wasn't losing any length due to breakage. Like I think the whole first year after cutting my hair, I lost like almost 0 length due to breakage because my hair was just really healthy and I wasn't using any heat on it either. So it was just like there was nothing to chop. Like I had nothing to trim off. I also think that doing regular scalp treatments and scalp massages made a huge difference. But yeah, I think scalp treatments and just having healthy ends were like the main contributors to the growth rate. That being said though, my hair grows at an average rate. It grows like 6 inches per year, so it's not super fast. Some people in 2 years will have their hair back down to their belly button. Some people it grows a lot slower. It just really depends on the person, their genetics, so many things, your lifestyle, if you're on medication. Like there are so many things that influence your hair growth, so don't compare it to other people if you're kind of feeling bad or feeling like your hair grows really fast. It just really depends on the individual, but those are the things I think that help me like maximize my personal growth rate. Somebody asked, did you get any anxiety during your big chop? No, I didn't. I mean, I was obviously nervous because it's a big change, but like I said earlier, like I was so ready for the haircut that I wasn't anxious about my decision. And my hairdresser in Ontario, Nada, is such an angel. She's always made haircuts super comfortable for me, especially when my hair was really long. Like I really hated getting trims and stuff because I was always just paranoid that it would like set back my growth. But she was so cool and really made sure that I was fully comfortable with it. She really took her time. Not once did I feel rushed through the process or like she wasn't listening to what I really wanted, and she made me feel so pretty the whole time. Like she really just made the experience so amazing. So I will have her Instagram link down below. If you live in like Toronto, Mississauga, and you're looking for a good stylist, I would highly recommend her. Like she's such an angel. But yeah, again, if you guys want to watch the original haircut video, I'll have it up in the cards. But she's so cute. Like you can see her in the video just being an angel. So no, I didn't have any anxiety like other than normal nerves, but it was more like the type of anxiety you get before you go on a roller coaster because you're really excited, and not like, oh my god, what am I about to do with myself? So yeah, it was like a good nervous feeling. Somebody asked why I chose to cut it to the length I did instead of going shorter or longer. I think I kept it that length instead of going shorter because I was scared to go super short. I always like felt like I would just feel really exposed, or like, I don't know, I just thought I would feel really naked without it if I went too short. And I was like, if I go too short, like it's gonna be like you have to wait for it to grow out, and I don't want to regret doing it. I didn't want this haircut to be like a bad experience. And then I didn't go any longer because I did want to have short hair. I did want to have a haircut, so I was like, if I go here, like I might as well just go to my collarbone. And then I figured too, like if I got to here and I wanted to go shorter, I could always go back to her like in a week and chop it again. A few inches wouldn't make that much of a difference, and I just thought that would be a flattering length on me based on like the inspo pictures I showed her too. Like I thought that was the length I kind of liked, and it was a length that I was comfortable with. I thought that I could work with it. I could still put it up. I would still be able to do my heatless curls that I really loved doing at the time. And yeah, that's kind of why. I really would just recommend, if you're gonna do the same thing, like go find inspo pictures that you like and try to find people with a hair type that's similar to yours, or at least looks like yours in the photo, so I can really give you like a mental picture of what your hair is going to look like. Obviously everyone's hair is different, it's going to sit differently. Seeing somebody with similar hair to mine at that length made me really be able to picture like, okay, I think that length would suit me. You know what I mean? Somebody also asked, do I regret not cutting it sooner? And no, I don't. Again, this just goes back to being really ready for the cut. I think if I had cut it earlier than when I was fully ready, I would have just regretted it, and it would have just been a bad experience. I didn't want my growing out process to be me like, can't wait for my hair to go back, I feel so weird, I really wish I had my long hair, I just don't feel like myself. Like I wanted to feel like myself, and I did when I cut my hair. Like I didn't feel for 1 second like, what am I doing? I think, like I said before, the weirdest was just meeting new people and not like having my hair to be like a topic of conversation, because it was kind of a security blanket. I think if I cut it too early, I would have just felt weird about it. I think because I was moving as well, I was already at such a huge transitional point in my life. Like I was moving away from my family for the first time, I was getting my own place for the first time, I was driving across Canada, moving somewhere that I had never visited or anything. It was a huge change for me. But I think because I was already going through so many other huge changes, that the haircut seemed pretty minor. And I think that's also what helped me to like not really freak out about what I did, because I had no time to think about it. Literally 2 weeks later, I got in the car and moved my entire life across the country. So I just like, it didn't seem like a big deal in comparison to everything else. So I think if I did it sooner, I would have had too long to like sit there and like twiddle my thumbs and think about what I did that was weird, or that was like a huge change. Someone also asked, do you ever regret having hair as long as you did? And no, I don't regret that at all. It was such a fun phase of my life, and I was like in my early 20s as well for the most of it. I think the one thing I regret is I wish I had like more layers or something. Like I wish I gave myself more freedom with my hair, but I was just really worried about like ruining my progress. Like I worked so hard to get my hair to the length that it was at its longest and have it really healthy and keep it blunt cut. I just felt like, oh, if I go put layers in it now and then I regret it, like it took me so long to get it to this point, and at that point I wasn't ready for a big chop yet. So like now I'd be like, whatever, if I get bad layers I'll just chop it, it's not a big deal. But then it was kind of a huge deal. So plus at the time too, YouTube and Instagram were like my main jobs. They were my main source of income, and the main reason people were following me then and are still following me now is because of my hair care content. So I was like, if I, you know, do anything crazy with my hair and like everyone hates it, there goes my job, which really kind of sucks to think that way. And I think by the time I got ready to actually chop my hair off, I just didn't give a shit anymore. And so I'm also really grateful to all the brands that I work with, that I worked with long hair, that stuck with me when I did my big chop and were a part of my growing out journey. Thank you guys for sticking with me, and all of you guys who are still here watching 2 years later. And honestly, I always wanted super long hair as a kid, so I think I did like my inner child a little favor, like gave her the long princess hair that she always wanted, and then I grew out of it a little bit, and I'm happy with how my hair is now, and I'm enjoying the growing out process. So no, I don't really regret anything that I did with my hair or didn't do. I just wish I had more fun with it, or like gave myself the freedom to have more fun with it. At what length did you start using protective styles again, and how did they change? That's a really good question. I think I started using protective styles again like near the end of the summer in, what year is it? It's 2024. So in 2022 when I cut it, I think like the end of summer 2022 is when I really started to try to wear protective styles again. Up until that point, it was just at a length where if I did braids, they would just kind of fall out, and so they weren't really protective. And then if it was really windy or something, I would put my hair up in a claw clip or wear like a bandana or a scarf over my hair. And that was like the most protecting I did. Some protective styles were just not possible with my length anymore, especially my hair sticks, which was hard because like I loved my hair sticks. You guys know, if you were around my channel at that time, like how much I loved using hair sticks. And so I'm really happy that my hair is getting to a length now where I can comfortably wear them again. I think I was like really trying to make myself wear them like this time last year, but it was almost like too tight on my scalp. And somebody also asked me what my favorite hair products and tools have been since my big chop, which I'm really excited to show you. None of these will be a surprise because I mention them in pretty much every video, or like I mention them very frequently on Instagram. So if you're around here a lot, you're gonna know all of these. I think starting off strong, we have the rosemary scalp treatment from the Innate Life. I started using this the first week that I chopped my hair, and I'm continuing to use it 2 years later. It works so well. If you're looking for a good rosemary scalp treatment, just get this one. And I was also using the Berber growing season hair oil. I finished both of my bottles, so I don't have any to show you, but this is what it looks like. I've mentioned this recently a lot on my Instagram especially. It just works amazing. Like I love both of these oils so much. And then for my daily hair oil, the Rose Hair Elixir is still like my ride or die oil. I've been using this oil for years now, and I just don't see that ending anytime soon. It works really, really well. It's so lightweight, it smells great. What else could you ask for? It just works amazing. So again, if you're looking for a good one, I'd highly recommend. As for a leave-in conditioner, I mainly use this one from Kalia. It's the hydrating leave-in conditioner. I love their leave-ins because they're super lightweight. My hair is low porosity. It gets weighed down so easily. Using something like this, it almost feels like water. So I can go ham, I can spray as much as I want, and my hair doesn't get greasy or like weighed down. And I love putting this in before I use the Rose Hair Elixir. It just helps to like seal in all the moisture. And I also like to use this to dampen my hair from my heatless curls. It really helps with frizz and shine. So this is the one I mainly use throughout the entire like last year and a half. And then I've also been using the Carino Organics Sweet Pea leave-in, but this is the one that I prefer out of the two. I also got into using a mousse this year as per Hair by Olive Mari's recommendation in one of my capillary schedules. I'll have her Instagram link down below as well. But she recommended that I use this InnerSense I Create Lift Volumizing Foam to help boost volume in my hair, because that was one of my main complaints with my hair growing it out. I just never really get a lot of volume. It's just not the way my hair type is. So I started using this one, and it works really, really well. I like to put this in on damp hair before I blow dry my roots, and it really helps with volume. It doesn't feel sticky, it doesn't feel heavy. As for tools, you really can't go wrong with the scalp massager. I talk about this in like every video that I do on here where I'm washing my hair. I don't even specifically mean this one, although this has been my favorite one right now, but any of these types of like anything like this. I don't care where you get it from, any of them are good. These are so nice for giving yourself a good scalp massage, really getting in there when you're applying a scalp treatment. They're so stimulating. My camera died and I don't remember what I was talking about. This is the hairbrush that I've been using mainly for the last year and a bit, and this is the walnut brush from the Innate Life. I absolutely love this hairbrush. It just works so well. Honestly, this like replaced my tech brushes most of the time. Like I have exclusively used this one for the last like year and a half. It just works really well. The size of it was perfect for the length of my hair. I love the length of the pins. It just always felt really nice on my scalp. It was great for detangling. Like this brush, I don't know what they put in it, magic, because it just feels so good. I love this brush and I'm still using it. Now I'm actually using that big paddle brush from Be Kind, but I think I'm going to probably be going back to this one very soon. Then I guess the last tool that I've been using is this blow dryer from Life In, and it's the Life In Swift air dryer. I've talked about this multiple times on my channel. It's great. I love the different attachments. I love the diffuser attachment, and I use this on a daily basis to style my bangs. I have a video on how I do that on my Instagram as well if you want to see like the ins and outs. But yeah, I use this every day, and then also if I wash my hair too close to bedtime, this is great for blow drying my roots so I don't go to bed with wet hair. It just is fast, like it works really well. I love the different heat settings. But that's pretty much it for the hair update, you guys. Like I mentioned earlier, my goal now is just to grow it out to about hip length. I'm gonna keep getting trims like twice a year or so and just see like kind of how my hair does. Making hair growth progress content has been really fun too. I love showing you guys like progress pictures. You guys have been super supportive through the whole journey, so it's just been such a fun time. So thank you so much for all of you who were here before the haircut and stuck around after and have been supportive. But thank you guys so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed this video and the hair update. Please let me know in the comments what you would like to see next, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.